This portion of the news brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Wicked weather is affecting parts of the country today, just like yesterday. One of those areas impacted North Eleuthera. This video we got in yesterday from Aldred Albury in North Eleuthera. We talked to Island Administrator Jolton Johnson today, who is advising residents to stay away from the glass window bridge.
The bridge is presently closed. We are waiting for the winds to subside. I would like to advise all vehicular traffic to refrain from entering the area of the glass window bridge. The bridge is presently closed and the conditions are not favorable for vehicular traffic. We anticipate of opening the bridge in the morning. We're just waiting until the winds have subsided and an official announcement will be made via ZNS to the motoring public as to the opening of the bridge.
Amidst mounting concern from various sectors on why government would borrow monies as opposed to using funds collected from the value-added tax for hurricane restoration efforts, the Minister of State for Finance set the record straight today, explaining what's being done. Janine Ferguson has more.
There is a resounding question. Why not use VAT funds for the necessary infrastructural repairs to communities in the southern Bahamas hardest hit by Hurricane Joaquin? According to Minister of State for Finance Michael Halkitis, all revenue collected by the government will go into a consolidated fund. That fund will go toward defraying the cost of the government, and that includes relief and repair efforts.
The VAT revenue will be used to defray government expenditure, and the VAT revenue will be used to help in some of the rebuilding. To the extent that we cannot work within this budget, then we go towards further borrowing. What happens is the VAT revenue from customs duties, revenue from real property tax, revenue from tourism, revenue from gaming, revenue from business license, revenue from road traffic, it all goes into the consolidated fund, and then that is portioned off and we defray the expenses of the government. And so yes, a portion of it definitely will go.
There has also been a concern that reprioritizing government financing because of the extensive hurricane damage could result in an increase of a value-added tax. And there's the view that come January, there could also be a new tax for the implementation of the National Health Scheme. Now, Halkitis insisted this won't be the case. Now, Prime Minister Perry Christie had estimated that some $60 million would be needed to repair those islands impacted by Hurricane Joaquin. Halkitis says they'll look at all options and ensure that borrowing those funds is the last resort.
We're going into Cabinet this morning, and so we expect to get an update, and we'll see whether that number has grown or whether that has decreased. What it's up to us to do now is to do the assessment, find out what the costs are. In the first instance, establish whether we can reprioritize some of the things that are in this budget. And then as a final recourse, then we seek to borrow any additional monies.
Halkitis admitted that borrowing is a concerning factor as it will undoubtedly add to the country's national debt. He points out that it's all about the proper management of those funds.
The greater reality is that you have to be able to manage it. And so to the extent that your revenues do not cover your expenses, you move towards you want to move towards a situation where it does, where you do not have to. Currently, we are not in that situation. What we have to do in that case is just be as prudent as we can in our spending.
It's confirmed that they've also reached out to the Chinese and the Caribbean Development Bank to see what borrowing options may be available. Janae Ferguson, ZNS Network News.
Halkitis also gave an update on the exigency orders for those impacted by Hurricane Joaquin. The Minister of State for Finance said while there was some concern over the time frame to import goods, it can be extended as the need arises.
It's very early days. What we will be doing, we're meeting in Parliament tomorrow. We'll be seeking to give an update on how many applications have come in. And I just want to reiterate, again, there's been some concern about the initial order being for 30 days. It has been our practice in the country to issue initial orders, and then as it becomes necessary to do extensions. That has been our experience in the recent past. So Bahamians need not fear that they will run out of time. what we do is we manage it, and as we see the volume of, if we see that there's still a volume of requests that remain, we're prepared to extend because we want to see everybody recover.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.